All right, cool. So let's talk about setting up an agent preview on REColorado. And so I think kind of interesting as we go through and we just look at this. And so pro MLS login, then we're going to go into your profile. So when we go in here, we're going to see just a bunch of different applets, right? We're going to go through. If you set where you live, it will actually tell you the temperature in your area. So like that's a feature if you were wondering what that is.
Are,
Then
are you sharing your screen? Am I supposed to be able to see what you're doing right now?
yeah, you should be able to see. Is that better? Now,
All I see is just your camera now. It's just you.
now this,
Oh wait, okay, there we go. Never mind. It was me.
yeah, I was like, there's no way this is me. I've been operating Zoom since before it was cool back in 20. Um, all right,
Sorry,
cool.
it was me.
No,
Thank you.
you're good. Just fast forward through all that, guys, if you're watching this from home. So then we're looking at this and we just have our favorites, right? These are just what I have set up. You're going through, we can scroll down a little bit further and we just have all these different applets. Most of this is just info. To where we're going through, we've got info sparks, fast stats. We're going through this listing distribution. You can see where things are being pushed from, but yet that's not anything that you guys really have any power to do. Realist is obviously our county assessor. Then we go through, you have your just education. You can access things just quickly as well. So dot loop, which we don't use, at least in our office, we don't use dot loop. Sky slope forms. You can go through just different pieces in here. Logic. We have things. CTME directly connects to this, but let's go into the matrix. So that's the point of the call today. This matrix app. So you guys can set this up however you want. You can edit your dashboard and you can say, like, I want these different things. You can have a market watch, your listings, your favorites, like, and you can drag them around and set them to where you want them lined up. This is just how I have mine set up, to where I also have like a couple searches, right? One, number one, level living. So that was actually for a client. I also have things like 30 days plus on the MLS. I also have this Trelora listing. And so my thought process on some of these things, depending on what you guys are doing, right? Like if you guys are working for an investor or you are an investor, like you could just set stuff up to where you could actually go in here and it will pull however you have this set up. So these are all the listings in Arvada that are just one floor listings. Or I have my Trelora list, which doesn't have anything because Trelora is no longer a company. But there was a strategy that I was running when I was just looking at Trelora listings, to where I could actually just throw offers and see if anything stuck. Let's go in here. So let's go to residential. So I think the biggest basic way that we're going to go through here, we're going to go search. We're going to go to residential search, and we get this list. On the left-hand side, we go active, coming soon, pending, closed, withdrawn. For what we're doing, we're going to just look at active. Then we can do up here, we can actually put an address in if we wanted to. We can say my location, X amount of feet or miles around there. We can go through, we can type in the city. If we know the subdivision, if we want to go school district specific. Guys, also what's cool about this is you have this add feature down here. So while all of this sitting in this area is the defaults, you can actually go through and add additional fields. So I actually have days on MLS, right? Like you actually might have a strategy that says that, you know what, I want, 150 days plus on the MLS because, maybe these people are motivated to maybe accept a lower offer. Maybe like you have a client that's at $600,000 and you might go like a 625 list for people that have been on the market for like 150 days because those people might be more inclined to take $25,000 off their offer, right? So you can do different things like this. You can say architectural, the ownership. Like, do you want to just go look and see if there's any bank-owned properties? If garage spaces is a big thing for your client, maybe private remarks. Like this private remarks thing, you could put in something that you think a real estate agent's typing that would actually like motivated seller to where it would pull the list of motivated sellers in the private remarks. You do the same thing with public. So go here to the ad. And this is where you kind of have to know what some of these things mean, right? So if you look here, it might actually say like Well, you could do real estate. Like I said, I have a Trelora one that's set up. But if we're looking at this, maybe like heating. So we could go in and add the heating space. You can see I have days in MLS, again, public remarks, buyer, co-buyer agent, listing co-buyer agent. Like some of this, I'm just looking to see just brokerages. So anyway, we're gonna go back because I don't need to add anything else to mine. Now, let's say that we just have a client and they're just looking for Arvada, right? Like Arvada is where they want to live. Then I could say maybe it's just the specific zip code that they want to live in. You see, I type in REColorado. I click, oh, I didn't put the extra zero. REColorado. There's 34 matches. You guys can see that it popped up right here. Well, maybe I want REColorado, but I want it under a certain amount. So I can actually go through and say, you know, that I want it under $300,000. There's nothing there. Okay, so maybe under $800,000. Come on. There we go. Under 800,000. So if you guys want to do something a little bit more specific, you see I got the zeros already on there. You're not going to type in 800,000. It's already at 800,000. So, but I can say I want it under 800,000, but 800, then I put the minus side in there. Maybe I can say that I want it over 800,000. Now there's 5. You guys can see that these numbers are changing. I always don't go specific numbers. And what I mean by that is, so like bedroom count total, I'm not going to just put 2, but I might put 2 plus, right? So, or you want it, if you want 2 or less, I'd probably go 3 or under, right? Like that's what I would do when I'm doing these searches. So for your price, if you have these zeros checked, don't type in the full price. And say, I want to either, you could put, I could even say, I want it 500 to 800. Oh. Now we got 20, right? So you can see, like, you put this information in on active, you can go through, you can say that I just want it to be a single family residence. Now there's 9. And the more and more you go down, it's going to be less and less information. You can see that we're pulling REColorado, Iris, we're pulling these different things. Maybe my total square foot, I want it to be north of 2,500. So 2,500 plus, again, if I just were to put 2,500, you're probably going to see 0. So I'm saying I want it to be at least 2,500. That's where I put the plus. I want it at least that. So anyways, I can go through, I can just do the map as well. And so we can see where this property is. The only property that's available is this right here that's in Arvada. And again, I just went REColorado. Or we can go to the results. So let's do this a little bit differently. Let's go back to search. And now we're cleared again. I'm going to go Arvada specific. So I'm just going to type in Arvada. If I don't put any characteristics in, you can see that I have 271 homes available. If I were to click this, here are all the houses. Now you can separate the way that you want to separate it. You can see that I actually have it separated by 2 ways. I have it by highest price and square footage. So it's actually looking at both of those right now. It's saying that this home right here on 77th Lane is $2.3 million and it's the biggest house. So if I go here and I click on the listing ID, if you click on the address, this hyperlink, it's really going to take you to an address. And then you're going to be frustrated that you did that. You want to click on the listing ID. And so here's what, here's a $2.3 million home. I can obviously click on here and kind of play through it. Now, what we could do is when we're looking at this thing, we have all these different applets. All right, let me enlarge this a little bit. All of these do some different things, right? So here's just the photos. There's a map of the property. This is actually the history. This one's actually kind of interesting. You guys can actually click on that clock, and that clock will actually go through, and it's going to say, that this home, it expired. It was on the MLS back in 2017. They had it listed for 172 days for $1.6 million. That was the last price change, 1.6. Now they relisted it this year in January as a coming soon, right? And it landed at $2.3 million. And so you can go through here, you can actually see just sales history. Last time it sold was back in 2008 for 1.4. You can get the client's names, you can find out their mortgage history, all that's living there. That was just your clock. All right. So that was your clock right here. Here, if they did something and you feel so inclined to report that they put something in wrong, that's where you click. If there's a virtual tour, you have your virtual tour. They do have a Matterport, looks like right there. Then there is your realist. So now if you want to click on this, you have the ability to look at all the tax information, right? You can actually see who owns it again. You can actually see what the public records say versus the MLS. Like sometimes that information will be in here. It'll say like 3 bedrooms, according to realist, the public assessor's office, but yet they're saying that there's actually 4 bedrooms in the home. So then they actually added a bedroom. So go back to the listings. You have the ability, if you were to click on the CTM feature, it's actually going to load it into your CTM so that it's just pulling all the information that the agent already put in there. So when you're writing an offer, that information just uploads for you, which is kind of neat. Here's your supplements. So like if you were to go in here, they've already uploaded the seller's property disclosure, they uploaded the square footage disclosure, they uploaded their ABA. So obviously this is probably a title company is what I would assume. Yeah, so this is a Remax. So this is their title company. They own and the mortgage company and the title company. So they're going through and they're just saying like, hey, we own this stuff and they want your client to sign it. We're probably not. Call us if you get one of these. We're probably not signing it though. We're probably advising our clients that they don't need to sign it. So, but here you go. This is why you guys all came today. So this button right here is showing time. Schedule a showing. So you click on schedule a showing, and here's the stuff. Here's Charles as when he took over as a team leader with no beard. And when you go in, you look at this thing, here's your address, right? So the address is right here. Here's the listing. There's the price. It's active. The appointment type. So appointment is required. This one's saying that you actually have to schedule an appointment and they will reach out to you. The minimum appointment that you can take is 30 minutes. The maximum is an hour, and they don't allow overlapping showings. So when I scroll down here, I got 2 different ways that I can play. I can do a single showing, or if I'm adding a cart of showings, I can go through and I can do the cart of showings, which says like, maybe I got like 3 showings I want to do. Well, this will organize and say, this is the best route that you should be doing it. And so if you go to add this, they're going to actually have you pick your date and they're going to have you name it, right? Like Saturday showings and like maybe your client's name. I just put like, I don't ever put my client's name in any of this stuff. So, okay, it wants to know the showing name. We're not going to do the showing name. But if we were to go to schedule a single showing, this is what it does. Here is your availability. Literally every day except for Tuesday. So Tuesday, the 25th is today, and they're booked today. But you can go in as early as 9 a.m. on Wednesday. Wednesday through next Monday is available pretty much 9 to 8 o'clock almost. But I go here and I click on it, and it's saying, what kind of appointment do you want? Is it a showing? Is it a second showing? Is it the appraisal? Is it an inspection? What are you doing? So you go through, you pick it. If you guys are going to go look at properties, which you should, here's the thing. I wouldn't displace a family, right? Like if you're like, I'm bored and I need to level up my real estate, yes, you should. And with that being said, don't go in at 5 o'clock when you know a family's probably eating dinner and you know they live there. Like, don't schedule that showing. All right. Like, let's not displace anyone when we're just trying to level up. So what we're going to do is we're going to say agent preview. We're going to pick our time. We already picked the date. So we pick the time. And again, I don't ever choose my buyer's name. I don't think it's pertinent information for anybody to have. I know who I'm showing and I just move forward. Then you just hit request. But let's look at a couple things. So I just showed you this one, right? So this someone lives in this house. But let's go through and let's see if we can find one that's a little bit different. You can see there's showing time as well. Guys, there's also broker bay. This one, there is no showing feature, so we probably got to call the agent. Call the agent, showing time, call the agent, showing time. So there's a method to my madness. Stick with me. This one might be interesting. So let's click on this one because I have a working theory. Yeah. So this one looks a little bit different. You're actually just going to request and send it, and it looks like it is going to just some private company. So this is how they have it set up through showing time. So it might look a little bit different. But what I want to show you guys is some of these houses that you're going to look at. Like if you were to look at ours uses broker bay. I'm trying to see if we can find a broker bay, and I want to also show you guys just a go-in show, because that's going to be just a little bit different from kind of how we just did this. So here's a broker bay one. So you see it's no longer the clock, it's this thing. And so this is their logo. So it's redirecting you to broker bay. I don't know if this is my password. Let's just hope. It is perfect. So this is what this one looks like. You go through, you pick your day. So you can go as early as today, and you can go through and you can pick your time. Again, you're going to pick your showing. So if you're just doing this for yourself to level up, as you should be doing, what you're going to do is you're going to go through. It's an agent inspection or a preview. So you're going to select this, you're going to submit it. So we have broker bay and showing time are going to be the two big ones that we're playing with. The other thing I want to show you guys is you're kind of going through and you're doing some of these things because you have a real estate license. You should be going into these homes. You should be leveling up your real estate IQ and looking at some of these things. Now, what I would suggest is, again, we don't want to displace a family, right? There's no point in that. And some of these, I think this one actually has someone in it. Yep, that one has somebody. There's going to be ones where no one lives in the home. These are the ones that I'm probably going to play with the most. Like no one lives in it. Maybe it's a fix and flip. Maybe it's just a big house that I want to kind of go look at and take and kind of jump through it and kind of see kind of some of the things that they have going on. This one's actually kind of a cool house. I did look at this one earlier. I actually don't think anyone lives here, but let's find a different one. Because with these go and show ones, you really just go through and you just set the appointment. You set the appointment and you go to it. This one you got to call the selling agent. We might not get lucky. I was hoping that we'd be able to trip over one that's just a go and show, and I can show you what that looks like. It's a little bit different to where you literally just put it in there and you go and show the house. Like you could literally put it in right now. You're not waiting for confirmation and you're just going to it. It doesn't look like that those are available right now. It doesn't look like that anyone's set up that way. And the reason why, and how I'm basing that, I'm just looking to see if there's furniture. If there's furniture in it, like this one, it's sparse, but someone might not live there. Let's look at this one. So let's go schedule a showing. No appointment required again. So there are appointment requireds. And again, they do not accept overlaps. So what you can also do, let's just talk about that real quick. Let's see if this one shows anything. It doesn't, unfortunately. But also, guys, what you would know, and this is kind of what I tell my clients, like if you're going and you're doing this, maybe you're scheduling a showing for your client. And let's just say that there was more of this all over, right? Like it's blacked out on the Thursday, it's blacked out on Friday, there's stuff on Saturday. Then I can actually tell my clients like, hey, it looks like there's a lot of activity on this home, right? There's actually a lot of showings that look like that they're scheduled. So when we're going in, we just have to make sure that we understand that there's a lot of people that are actually looking at this house. And so there might be a little bit of competition. Those are some of the conversations that we would be having. Some of these houses are so sparse. We should be looking for a fix and flip. Keep hanging out. We're going to find one. All right. I feel good about it. Cool. So here it is. Here's your go and show. So again, we just looked and we didn't see anything. This is go and show. Instantly confirmed with your appointment request. So let's say you got like an hour, you got an hour break, right? And you're like, hey, I got an hour. I want to go look at some houses near me. You're going to go through all the same processes we just looked at. And I'm just looking for an empty house. And so this is a go and show. You do not need an appointment to go look at this house. You have to let them know that you're going, but like there's no one confirming it. So when you go into this one, you can see it says go and show. Like literally that's what it says instantly. Whatever time you pick, you're going to get it. Like there's no one's going to be waiting. So literally you can say this house is right across the street. Maybe it's in your neighborhood and you want to go look at it. Where you're going to go through, you're going to say, awesome, I want to go look at this house. I just want to go peek over there. You hit the go and show, you go in, the appointment minimum, they don't care. You can't be in there any more than 45 minutes. Again, they don't want overlapping showings. I don't get why, but anyways. So then schedule a single showing. And at any points that we pick in here, they're going to be available. We can actually go through and show the house whenever we want. So again, guys, like what I would do as an agent, and this is what I did do. You want to raise your real estate IQ. You want to know what the prices of homes look like. And so you have a real estate license. You literally have the key to every home on the MLS. What I would do is I would go look at fix and flips in the area. I would go look at new builds. And new builds, you don't need a key unless it's an unmanned new build, which every once in a while those do exist. And you just want to kind of go look and you want to go in there and you want to do some things and, you know, snag some photos, whether it's you walking up to the door, maybe it is a feature in the home. Don't call out the house. Do not go through and take a video of an empty house and say, hey, this is 123 Main Street. Do not do that. Yet if you want to go like, here's a, you know, tile, here's a kitchen, here is a fireplace, right? If you want to take a photo of something like that, don't call out where you are. I think that's perfectly fine and safe to do. So again, guys, like that's how you do this. Like this is pretty simple. Your search to residential, pick your criteria. Again, 5,000 plus searches. You're not going to really see anything. Go in, pick your area, pick the different things that you're looking for specifically. And just one other thing, let's say it's not an agent preview. Maybe you want to send this to a client. So check this out, right? So let's go through and I'm just going to put in a zip code again. Well, you can pull in a full zip code. I don't know what's going on. So we go through 34 houses, we go to results. Now, if I want, I can actually scroll down here and I have all of these search parameters here. So look at this. So maybe I have a client that's looking at REColorado. Again, you should not have a client that's looking anywhere from, you know, $1 million all the way down to $400,000. Like that's not a real buyer. But anyways, now I might want to set it off. Here's the new search feature, right? Like I showed you guys, like for my speed bar, the shortcut, those were what I was doing earlier. But maybe I want to send this off to my clients. I go to new auto email. You go through, you have to create your contact's name. You have to put a subject in, and then anytime that you're sending a new home to your client, this is automatically going to go to them. So you can actually fire this off, and there's the welcome email. Hey, here's your new search feature. And then every time there are new or updated listings that fit your client portal, and they go through and it sends them every time a new home meets that criteria, it actually will send it over to your clients. Cool.